they're adorable, they're cute, they're babies, and they're going to be okay. And if you really, really think that by giving the child up for adoption is going to better the child, then trust that intuition, because I think they will be.
Yeah, yeah, beautiful. And what would you say to a person who has discovered that they are adopted, or maybe they have known for a long time and they're struggling with that? They're just having a really hard time accepting the fact that they were adopted. What are your words of wisdom around that?
I think it's easy to, I don't want to dumb it down by saying overthink it, but I think it's easy to kind of go down the rabbit hole of thoughts of, oh, well, what is, just all the questions that could arise. And I think that, I find myself mostly wondering, like, I think it's fascinating that people look like other people in their family and stuff like that. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, people say I look like my birth parents, which I guess I'm sorry, not my birth parents, like my parents. They say I look like my parents.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm adopted, and I always think it's so funny. But then I always think, oh, wow, it's so weird that there's other people out there who might, have my eyes or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where
Yeah.
I go with the thought process. But I'd say if somebody's struggling with it personally, just dive into and ask yourself, what do you want to know? Like, what is going to make you feel sure? Because where you come from is who raised you. You know what I mean? It's not, I mean, I come from Romania, but that's not, people ask, like, I tell them my story, I'll tell them when I'm adopted, and they say, oh, do you speak Romanian? It's like, no, I wasn't there. I just was adopted from there. You know what I mean? And it's who raised you that really, forms your life. Like, my parents raised me, so that's who my family is.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And it's very much, and I love that. I love that people say to you that you look so much like your parents, because I think we do. I think the people we spend the majority of time with, that we end up having resemblances to them. And I have to be careful with that because my husband has a beard. And so it's like, I don't want to have any of that stuff going on. But
Absolutely.
I think we do. I think we have resemblances to the people we spend time with. And, yeah, I just love it. And I know that your identity is absolutely not that you have been adopted. And I know that you know that, and you're just a beautiful human being. But I was just so taken aback when you were sharing your story about being adopted from Romania. And it was like, oh, I just need to know more about this and have you on this show. And yeah, I love what you've had to say to other people, the wisdom that you shared in advice. If, I'm thinking about putting this baby up for adoption, I don't know for sure. And, I'm struggling with knowing that I am adopted. And I find it so wonderfully comforting that you are so well adjusted and happy and just living this beautiful life and doing fabulous things with your parents, because I know you're going to be doing this great trip with them here pretty soon. Well, they're already there, but you're meeting up with them. And
Yes.
it's just being able to live that full life. And, what a blessing that your parents adopting you, such a beautiful blessing. And, you're just Daniela, and that's just part of your story amongst many, many, many other things that make you everything that you
Yes.
are. Yeah. Yeah. Gorgeous. So tell us a little bit. So you had a personal sound bath with somebody, and that led you down the path of you becoming a sound healer yourself. So can you share with us what happened with you when you had the personal sound bath? What did you experience?
Yeah, so I had a sound bath with the copper vessel, and I went there with really no expectation because other than what I had experienced kind of online, I had no idea what to expect. And when she, had me laying down on the floor, with the blankets and the pillows. It's all comfortable. And then I had the sound bath, and I told her, I said, she asked me what, what kind of intention do you want to set for this sound bath? I said, honestly, I really have no idea other than I just kind of want to connect with my breath. And I realized, with work and just everything like that, just the way I've been feeling from work, I hadn't even been taking a full breath. Like maybe I had, scientifically, but it did not feel like a full breath. Like it felt like a choking breath. Like I was not, like I was okay, but like I wasn't breathing. And when I left that first session, I felt like I had connected with that inhale and exhale, and just the clarity, that came afterwards. I think I was super impacted. And during the sound bath, I actually, like right at the end, I felt like I knew I was laying on the floor, and this never ever happens to me, but knew I was laying on the floor, and I felt like my feet flew right over my head, like somebody flipped me on one of those zero gravity things. Yeah, and I was like, what? And I knew, and I just felt my fingers, and I knew where I was. I was okay, but it was the weirdest thing, and so yeah, ever since then I've been hooked.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, because it's such an experience. I've not had a private sound bath like that. So I've not been able to experience that, only in a group setting. But yeah, that's a phenomenal way to experience a sound bath.
Yeah, it was
Absolutely.
super amazing, and just like I said, the clarity that I found afterwards, really connecting with that intention that I had set, even though it
Yeah.
seemed so small, just the inhale and exhale, and really like, being present for that breath, because like I said, I felt like I hadn't been breathing.
Right. Well, and the majority of people go through life with that shallow breathing that you were talking about. It's so shallow, it's not even coming close to reaching the bottom lobes of our.
Yeah, not at all.
No. So and we don't recognize that most of the time unless somebody helps and walks us through that. So it's beautiful that you got to reconnect with your breath, and from that moment on, I'm assuming that you are very conscious of your breath and connecting with it all
Yeah,
of the time.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Daniela, I'm so grateful to have you on the show and for you to share all of this information about your
Thank
story up
you.
until now. Yeah, because our time is starting to come close here. So I'm going to start um, driving this home. But I want to thank you first of all for being so honest and so authentic and sharing your story with us, and sharing your family with us, your family in Romania and your family in the United States. And, really just being open and vulnerable in that. And thank you so very much. I'm so grateful for that.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah, because it's fantastic. So now we're on to fun, wonderful sound healing baths, and I would imagine personal one-on-one sound healings that you're doing. So
Yeah.
for the listeners to get in touch with you, what is the easiest way for them to reach you?
Oh, so they would want to go ahead and either go directly to my website, which is www.namastemeditated, that's with a D at the end, .com, or they can follow me on Instagram at Namaste Meditated, or they can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/Namaste Meditated.
Perfect, perfect. And that information will be in the show notes. So anybody who is driving or doesn't have paper and pen close by, no worries. Information will be in the show notes. And so you can jot all of that information down. And I know that you have a list of live events that are either posted or will be coming up very soon. So if people are in I know you said the New York City area, and
Yeah,
did you
if
also
they're
say,
in the Albany, New York, upstate, or Western Massachusetts, all that kind of area. I'm right. Currently, I'm up in Albany, New York, which is kind of at the corner of Massachusetts, Vermont, and New York. So
Oh,
a little bit of everything.
there you go. The corner of happy and healthy. I love it.
Exactly.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Daniela. And again, I will make sure that we get the Albany, New York, and their upstate New York in there so people can find your
Yeah.
live events and attend them because you are a gifted healer. And again, thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
absolutely. And for all of the listeners, I know that you gleaned nuggets of wisdom from this conversation, and hopefully you can help another young person who is struggling with anything around adoption. And in the meantime, of this week to next week, I wish you very well and have a blessed and glorious week. Bye bye.
Thank you for spending time with us today. Please go to nadahogan.com for show notes and other information you can use right away. If you like what you heard here, please subscribe to our show and don't forget to rate and review right there on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you get your shows. And don't forget to tell your friends about it. We'll see you next week.